sometimes we have formulas and we want to solve those for a different thing. Now this equation we've got A equals. Is the future value of an investment of P dollars at simple interest rate R for T years is given by this equation. So we have A equals P times the quantity 1 plus RT. We're going to solve this for R, the interest rate. So if A equals P times 1 plus RT. First thing you do is remove the parentheses. So A equals P plus P plus P times RT. Now we want the R term on one side by itself. So let's subtract the P. A minus P equals P times R times T. And we want the R by itself, so we have to divide both sides by PT. So A minus P divided by PT. And this is solving the formula for the interest rate R. Here we have another equation that has more than one letter in it. We're going to solve this equation for X. The first thing I'm going to do is multiply by 3 to get rid of the fractions. Now, when I'm doing this is one term over 1, and it's only one term, so only multiply by the 3 once. So 3 times 2 is 6. That still times the 2x minus b. Here, the 3's will cancel out, and we'll get 5cx. Getting rid of the parentheses, 12x minus 6b equals 5cx. We want the x terms both on the same side. I'm going to make that the left side, so I'm going to subtract 5cx from both sides, and I want the constant, the other term on the other side, so that equals 6b. Now I factor an x out of this, and I'll get 12 minus 5c. Factoring the x out of these two terms equals 6b. And now I'll end up with x equals 6b divided by 12 minus 5c. Still has lots of letters in it, but they'd have to tell us what b and c were to find a numerical value for it. We want to solve this equation so it can be expressed as a function of x and then graph the equation. So I have 2x minus 6y equals 12. We're solving it for y, so I'm going to move the x. I have 6y equals negative 2x plus 12. Now I'm going to divide by the negative 6. So negative 2 divided by negative 6 is 1/3 x. 12 divided by negative 6 is minus 2. So this then is my equation solved for x. Of course, if I'm going to graph it, I will need to number it. Now, I've only put 2 numbers on, but that indicates that each line is 1. The y-intercept, we know our form y equals mx plus b. We know that b is the y-intercept, so the y-intercept is negative 2. And the slope is 1/3, rise over run, x1, up 1, and over 3, up 1, and over 3. You can do that down 1 and back 3 to get some more points. And we'll want to draw our line so it goes clear across our graph available, as we've talked about in class. Going to do that again. We're going to solve this equation for y, so we can get y as a function of x. So x squared plus 6 equals 6. 6y will equal 6 minus x squared, and y will equal 1 minus 1/6 x squared. So I'm graphing this by hand. I'm going to want to pick some x values. I'm going to use -3. So -3 squared is 9. That will give me 1 minus 9/6, or 1 minus 3/2. This will be -1/2. I'm going to do -2. So that would be 4. 4/6. 1 minus 4/6, or 2/3, is 1/3. -1. -1 squared is 1. Minus times -1/6. So I'll have 1 plus, or 1 minus 1/6, or 5/6. The 0 makes 1 minus 1/6 times 0, so just 1. Now when I go the other side, 1, I get the same thing when I square it, so I will have 5/6. 2 will be 1/3. 3 will be -1/2. And those are the points I can go for graphing. -3, -1/2. -2, 1/3 is approximately there. -1, 5/6, about there. 0, 1, 1, 5/6, 2, 1/3, 3, 1/2, and so the shape that looks something like this. And that could be my graph.